everybody. Grayson Kent here with the interview with the super hot and sexy Scott Riley, who has graciously agreed to be part of our little project with us. So welcome, Scott. Thank you very much for being here.
Absolutely.
Why don't we start with you? Tell us about you and where you come from and who you be.
Who you be. So I was born and raised in small town America, Mississippi.
Okay.
Won't name that town for safety reasons.
Of course.
Or such. But that's where I'm from. This cute little small town in the Delta.
Okay.
So it's like flatland, farmland, all that stuff. Grew up with two older brothers. My parents were divorced before I was even born. Don't really know how it came about actually, because they were divorced for a while. So apparently they had this fling after they were divorced, and then I came about, and then they got together for a little while, and then they split again.
Divorce fling, okay.
Interesting. So then they split for good whenever I was about 3. Both of them got remarried. My dad got remarried to a woman that had 3 kids, and my mom got remarried to a guy that had no kids.
Okay.
So on one hand, we had like fighting for attention between all the kids because there were 6 of us. I have 2 older brothers, and then she had 3 kids.
Right.
And my dad and I never really got along, even when I was really young. Like it just never was a good situation there. So I moved out when I was 5 and moved in with my mom. Because somehow my dad got custody. I don't really know the whole story. I was really young. So I didn't really give a shit.
Right.
But so then I moved in with my mom. And then eventually my 2 brothers came, and so we had a really good childhood. Stepdad was decently active. He was actually my baseball coach because I played baseball from 3 until I was 18.
Okay.
So he was my baseball coach through Little League, things like that. And then I was a really nerdy kid. Straight A's, had the broke glasses, wore short shorts. All
Did you have
this
a pocket
stuff.
protector?
I don't think so. I wasn't that nerdy. I was still an athlete. But so then I got into like junior high and I kind of changed my look a little bit. And then I got into partying myself when I was about 12 years old. So I started drinking when I was 12. Lord, Mississippi.
Well,
You know, there's nothing to do except drink.
right.
So got into that. So I started drinking when I was 12.
So your liver is pickled.
Well, no, we'll get there.
All right.
So my 2 older brothers had already been drinking for a while, and then my oldest brother was already on drugs, and he's 4 years older than me, and then so it's 2 years between each. So it's 4 years older than me, 2 years older than me, and then there's me.
Okay.
And so eventually, my mom was working in a hospital, and then this whole shebang happened where she told my stepdad some information that she shouldn't have, and he shared it with a guy, and then there's this whole train of things that led back to my mom, and she lost her job at the hospital.
Oh, that sucks.
Because she was like the financial coordinator or something like that. Some kind of cute little title. My mom's this cute, short, 5'3", petite, beautiful woman. And so it's just funny. Anyways, so she went from that to, which before that she managed a pool hall. So it wasn't like, it was 2 completely different jobs.
Yeah.
And she went into bartending after that.
Okay. Pool hall.
Which is where things kind of went south. And so my mom got into bartending, and she started having a lot of stress. She was trying to get divorced from her husband, and then there was my 2 older brothers, the oldest one being on drugs, and then the older one, basically we thought that he was going to have a kid before he left high school, because he was a total whore. God bless him. Bless his heart.
Blessing little heart.
and then so she had a mental breakdown, like clinically, she had a mental breakdown. She didn't get the help she needed, she chose drugs. So she started dating this guy, left for 2 weeks. She lived, we lived together. But she went to visit him, which was 2 hours south in Jackson, Mississippi, and she was gone for 2 weeks. And my oldest brother was gone because we had no idea really where he was. We saw him every few days or so, whenever he wanted to come home and like actually have a meal or something. So and then the middle brother was always at his girlfriend's house, so I was always at home alone, which I had my license when I was 15 and all these things. So I was driving around, and I had a job, and I went to school, and I played baseball, and all these things.
You just did your own thing.
Yeah, but we didn't have groceries, and the lights were turned off.
Oh, jeez.
So me being the only one with a job, and
You had to take care of all
yeah,
that.
so I had to take care of all that.
Love growing up.
Yeah. So I decided that I was gonna move out of the house when I was 15
Hmm.
because I figured if I was gonna pay bills, then I could pay them
You might as well just pay your own.
for myself.
Right, right. Your bills, not their bills.
Right. So
Sure, right.
I told my mom, I packed my things up, and I actually originally moved back in with my dad, who I had not really seen in about 7 years.
Well, yeah,
And
understandable.
didn't really have a good relationship with him anyway.
Right.
So I moved in with him, lived with him for 2 months, and then decided that it was a shit show. So I moved out,
Yeah.
moved back to Greenville. I was 16 by this point,
Uh,
because this was like a transition from sophomore to junior year.
yeah. Hmm.
So junior year, I bounced around for a while. Lived with my aunt for a little while. Lived with my best friend for a little while. Lived with my girlfriend for a little while. Yes, I had a girlfriend all through high school.
Many of us did.
Well, lucky for me, she was religious and never wanted to have sex.
Ah.
Until she cheated on me with my best friend. Because she totally slept with him.
God, oh my God.
But yeah, so no, I just kind of like couch surfed for
Mhm.
that year. And even into senior year,
Mhm.
up until halfway through, and this family kind of took me in.
Mhm. That you were connected with. How?
Just growing up,
Mhm.
like, I mean, it's really funny. They're really religious. Like, he was actually a pastor of a church.
Oh, okay.
But
Religious,
that's not
religious.
how I knew them.
Uh-huh.
We actually just had mutual friends, and
Mhm.
so like they saw me play baseball, they saw all kinds of things, and so they invited me to come out on the lake with them all the time.
Okay.
So like water skiing and things like that.
Mhm.
So they took me in, and shortly after they found out that I was gay, which they didn't really have a big issue with at all.
Oh, that's
Um,
good. That's nice.
So graduated high
You're
school,
lucky.
went to college, and yeah, spent 4 years in college and moved to Florida.
What'd you study?
Kinesiology.
Okay.
Studied muscles. Before that, I did a little bit with music, but
Mhm.
kind of decided that that wasn't really what I wanted to do because I didn't. They wanted to make me sing in a men's choir, which I really didn't want to do.
Why? What's wrong with men's choirs? I was in a men's choir.
And I'm judging you.
I was also in a mixed choir. Shush.
Mhm. No, it just wasn't my thing. I'm not a big classical music guy. So
Okay.
yeah, and then learning music in different languages is really not my forte, and it's just too much to do for me.
I've sung in so many languages.
Precisely, which is why I didn't want to do it.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.